Good morning, everyone. It is Monday and it is the 14th of December. We are going to be going over the two sections in IXL, F16 and 17, estimate positive square roots and positive and negative square roots. I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to IXL. I'm not sure we're going to do much on paper today. This is more learning a new skill. Hopefully some of this will be familiar to you as you have memorized your times tables at a different time. So let me pull up this. The particular skills that we're going to be learning are have to do with the square roots of or perfect squares, which is it's when a number times itself or a number squared is equal to, actually I will switch back to my paper really quick. So let me do that. Sorry, guys. When we're looking at a perfect square, it is a number very much like, let me think about this. So the square root of 1 equals 1. That's a perfect square. The square root of 4 equals 2. So the square root of 4 simply is that 2 times 2 is 4. So it's the inverse of something that's squared or something to the second power. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Therefore, the square root of 2 equals 4. So when we say a number, this is the number symbol, squared, when we say that, when we say this number is squared, it's the same thing as saying it's to the second power. So like I just wrote here, 2 squared is the same thing as 2 times 2, which is 4. So if we do the inverse of that and we do the square root of 4, meaning what's the number that you have to square to get 4, we get 2. So this is a flip-flop way of saying the exact same thing. And so that terminology hopefully will become familiar to you. I'm going to go through a few of the other square, perfect squares that you can get. So we've got the square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4, this almost looks like a negative. I don't mean it to be a negative, sorry. And then the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 16 equals 4, and so on and so forth. So one thing that I attached to the assignment for today that will help you as you're remembering these and kind of learning to memorize them, I attached a sheet that is a square roots of perfect squares sheet, and this is going to come in really handy as you do this assignment, and I'll show you why. So in this assignment, so this is attached to your assignment in Google Classroom. When you're in IXL, we're on F16, estimating positive square roots. So this is saying complete the following statement. Use the integers that are closest to the number in the middle. So we want to make sure we get as close as we can to the number in the middle. Sorry about that. My computer glitched out for a second. So we actually have a new equation right here. So which two integers is the square root of 50 between? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our, this is our, until we remember what all the square roots are, the perfect squares. We're going to say, okay, what two integers is the square root of 50 in between? Okay, so we're going to go through and look at all these square roots of perfect squares, and 50 is, square root of 50 is going to be higher than the square root of 49, but it will be lower than the square root of 64 because 50 falls in between those two numbers. So we know then that the square root of 50 is in between 7 and 8. So we know that it's in between 7 and 8 based on finding on the chart where it would fall. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but this one we're going to use these, we're going to use our less than, greater than signs. So when we look for 68, we're going to find the numbers that go in between. Where's 68 on here? Let's double check that we're looking. Yep. Where's the square root of 68 on here? We know it's higher than 8, lower than 9. So we're going to go in and put 8 and 9. Okay, and we're going to go on and do that. It's the same skill over and over. So which two integers is the square root of 42 between? We're going to find 42 is in between 36 and 49. So we know that it's going to be in between 6 and 7. There you go. So you're going to keep doing that. And that is how you're going to finish 16, estimating square roots. We're going to go back to, so I went all the way back to 8. Let's go to 8th grade. We're going to do the second part. This one is very similar to what we were just doing. We're going to positive and negative square roots. And this one actually is even a little bit easier because they're only using perfect squares. So what we're going to say, this helps us remember, but it also just helps us practice our negative and positive numbers and remembering. So the negative square root of 36, you know you're going to use the negative sign. And then if you haven't remembered yet what the square root of 36 is, you can check your chart. The square root of 36 is 6. So it's negative 6. What is the positive square root of 4? So remember, we are going to use, we're going to make sure we read the whole question. And this is asking what the positive square root of 4 is. So we know there's no negative sign. If you have forgotten, square root of 4 is 2. You can run and grab it off of the chart. And the negative square root of 25. So if you remember that the square root of 25 is 5, you can just answer without checking the chart. But you can also go and check the chart for 25. It is 5. Okay, I've double checked. Is it positive or negative? We want negative. Okay. What is the positive square root of 1? Same thing. You can double check that the square root of 1 is 1, or you could just know that. And as you go through this, I hope you start just kind of starting to remember what the square roots of these numbers are, especially the perfect squares. What is the square root of 49? You can go check if you want to. Find square root of 49, 7. And these are things that you'll start remembering as you keep practicing. These square roots that are perfect squares will come more naturally to you. So that is how you do today's assignment. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in class.